Hello once again everyone, it is Jello here. So today we will be comparing an overclock system and a non-overclock system. How much faster is an overclock system? And is overclocking really worth it? Let's find out. For those of you who don't know what overclocking is, well, in a nutshell, it is making your CPU or your GPU run faster than its rated specs. For example, if the out-of-the-box clock speed of your CPU is 4.0 GHz, then you manually make it run at 4.5 GHz, then that is already an overclock. However, for Intel, you must have a CPU that has a K on it and a corresponding motherboard with a chipset that has a Z on it. AMD has more flexibility when it comes to overclocking their CPUs. Their CPUs with an X would usually yield higher overclocks than their non-X counterparts. But for the most part, you can overclock most of their CPUs even on a budget motherboard. With GPUs, you can overclock most of them with the use of a software, either with NVIDIA or with AMD. But your hardware's overclocking mileage will vary because not all chips are created equal, even with the same hardware. Some could overclock higher than the others because of its ASIC quality, but we're not gonna get into that for now. So I did some benchmarks with my own system for both the CPU and the GPU. For the Ryzen 5 1600, I was able to overclock it to 3.8 GHz, and for the Zotac GTX 1070, I was able to achieve a plus 130 on the core clock and a plus 600 on the memory clock. As usual, I tested 5 games 3 times and got the average scores. And here are the results. So I did see a performance increase in an overclock system, except for Hitman 2, which was an odd one. The average increase of performance out of all the games that we tested is about 12.6%. The game that we saw a huge performance gain was with CSGO. However, if we take out that game from the average, our total increase in performance is only down to 8%. A little improvement in performance, but an improvement nonetheless. So should you overclock your system? Well, it depends on what type of a gamer you are and how you perceive the performance increase. To some, the performance increase may not be worth it. However, for those who want to increase scores in benchmarks and for those who want to squeeze every ounce of performance from their hardware, and also for those who can distinguish the performance, then it may well be worth it for them. There are even some extreme overclockers who compete and break world records. Some people also do it just for fun. However, as technology advances, manufacturers have kind of made it easier for consumers to get an overclock out of the box. Meaning CPUs and GPUs overclock themselves depending on what kind of cooling solution you have. So is overclocking worth it? Well, I leave that up to you. If you haven't tried overclocking before, try it and see how far you can push your hardware to its limits. But always do some research first before attempting to do it, and also make sure that you have a good enough cooling to keep the temperatures in check. So like this video if you like it, subscribe if you haven't yet so you won't miss any updates. And also please feel free to comment down below. And that is it for today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.